professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Me and my lady was talking about this morning, how good people get neglected. And there's a certain, I don't know if it's a guilt in it, but she was talking about it in a sense where people do feel guilty after the fact. I was going to use Deb Atney, Waka Flocka's mom, as a thumbnail, but I just couldn't find the right one. When she was talking about how, you know, being Gucci Mane's manager, basically, and OJ the Juice Man's manager, and how she felt like she did OJ a disservice, OJ the Juice Man a disservice, because he wasn't really giving her any problems. He wasn't getting into trouble. She wasn't having to chase behind him to fix the situation that he caused. So because of that, she kind of neglected his career because there was less drama, because she was trying to put out fires from Gucci. Gucci. Um, so I think that, that happens in real life in people's families. For real, people, they grow up and they find out that at the end of the day, you know, they didn't get the support that they needed because they weren't causing a lot of trouble. And I've talked about, people being latchkey kids. That's an 80s term, kids who basically were taking care of themselves at an early age. And we don't take into consideration that a lot of the latchkey kids are latchkey adults. And you can become distant. Like, I don't want to psychoanalyze myself, even though I could. I'm a I'm a busy person, but I stay to myself. No disrespect to anybody that I'm friends, family or friends. My family understands. I'm always on the move, so I'm staying to myself. My friends understand because my friends who've been around me, like close, they saw me as a young person get up early, come home late, because I'm always doing something. Whether it's if it's not work related, it's to get better at something related. So I was always doing something, but that causes a kind of a puts a strain on relationships sometimes because you're not available for sometimes bonding or fun. So, but the thing I'm saying is, even with that situation, a lot of people saw, even me personally, not get into a lot of negative things, but be into a lot of life situations, and people figure over time, since it started at an early age, I'm gonna be okay. And there are a lot of people who got neglected because people assumed that they were going to be okay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you know how people say some people that might take their own life and it was like they were so happy this day, but what happened the next day? Well, good people are neglected and they're not okay. The only difference is a lot of good people are accustomed to being neglected, so um, they can push forward and process how to deal with it, or divert that feeling of loneliness or abandonment into something more positive. They can turn that negative into a positive situation. So that neglect is, though it's there, they can work through it. And I think the issue is at some point that a lot of us uh, don't. It doesn't even look like neglect anymore. It's just like we're on our own thing. And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. So Christmas, I got a call. One of my college roommates was in town. He went to see his brother, so I drove across town to see him and saw his family. And saw his mom. I ain't seen his mom in 20 something years. It was great to see her. It was great to see all of them. And he was like, he was talking just about life and things going on. And we got a group chat. And he says, I was like, man, you know what? I ain't put it in the chat yet, but I'm so proud of everybody, man, because we knew where everybody started and where they're at right now. It's not where they finished, but everybody is in a good space. And that's great to have a group of friends that you was to college with the vast majority of them, especially the core group he was with, all wound up in a great space. It's a great thing to see. And he was like, he said, you don't talk much. I said, yeah, you know what it is. And he said, how you doing? Because you don't, if you going through it, you don't say nothing. I'm like, and I told him some things that went on this year, so he knew about the situation with my son. He knew the situation with my lady's son, and that was, that was all recent. That was in the last like 6 months, and he was like, bro, you don't, you always just move on. And I thought about it, and I told him, I said, you know what it is? I know for me, what winds up happening is one bad thing can happen and it might be devastating, but another bad thing will happen that'll make you put it on the back burner. So I was like, over the years, you just, sometimes bad things happen is a good thing because it doesn't allow you to focus on one bad thing, even though you wind up with multiple bad things. Um, but because of that, people watch from afar and they go, that ain't nothing. I remember when that happened, that ain't nothing. And I thought about it like, my lady was talking and she was like, sometimes when people think you're all right, you're not all right. And it's like, yeah, but it's not that people don't care. People don't think you need them to care like that. And that's why I brought up the Deb and the Gucci Mane, OJ, the Juice Man situation, because they say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And sometimes the squeaky wheel ain't squeaky, it's just making sounds for attention, you know. And what winds up happening is, because I've seen this in, family, my own family, my friends' families, where, you know, decades could go by and people could realize, man, we did you a disservice because we was chasing this person and fixing this and that. And when it all died down and settled down and you put all the fires out, the person probably that went through the most is the person that you neglected because they didn't go through it with the support system. They went through it alone because the family was supporting everybody else or the friends were supporting everybody else. And you know, and I think about that because people don't make gestures anymore. And what I mean by gestures, I was telling my lady about this. I saw a post either right before Christmas or on Christmas with Floyd Mayweather Jr. talking about how he don't want nothing for Christmas because, I don't want anything Christmas, birthday, Father's Day, because I give y'all gifts all year round. Y'all should be able to give me gifts all year round. If you care, that's what it is. And the thing about it is, I think, good people get neglected because good people know what it's like to be neglected. So we try to give to the world what the world hasn't given us, to put it back out there, like to pay it forward. Like, look, do this and do that. And sometimes good people are neglected or latchkey adults are neglected because they already, some people get so, do so well in life. You attribute that to, maybe they're lucky, maybe they got the hard work ethic. But even if you worked and earned a lot and you can buy everything in the world that money could buy, then people look at you like, hey, well, do something for me. And a neglected person winds up neglected even in success because your success is supposed to be given to other people around you. And people don't take you into consideration because you can buy yourself all the things that they'll never buy you. You know what I'm saying? Or it ain't even the stuff. It's usually the intention and gesture. Because people don't lift a finger for people, because like I said, good people, hardworking people, latchkey adults, people who are go-getters, they're the last people to get a phone call. They're the last people to get a text. They're the last people to get a gift. They're the last people for somebody to say, man, I'm proud of you. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You doing, you gonna make it. And I think that does people a disservice. And people don't realize it until sometimes those people are either out of your life as just, you ain't been around them in a while or they're dead. And then you realize, now a group of people, a support system has to do for itself what the other person did for them. But then you realize, man, we ain't never do none of that stuff for them. Man, what was we doing? But tell me what you think Like, share, subscribe or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.